Welcome to the Illuminati broadcast. I'm your king, your messiah, your God, your Jesus, your host, David Moore. What's up? So, I'm related to an Irish king called O'Neill of the Nine Hostages, and I'm his great grandson, so that makes me, better than you. Alright, so. Yeah, and evidently, banshees listen to us. Cool, right? Yeah. We have fairies and things like that. I've had dreams about fairies and, I walk into their realm and they're very powerful they're powerful beings, and I walk with dragons, I guess, in my dreams, and the fairies are like, dragons, but then we all have fun together. It's so crazy. Anyways, so we have my ephod, my Elon, my little tablet right here, and I just wanted to go over some stuff real quick. Let's see. So this is Jupiter area right here, right? We have Jupiter, and it's a tree. So I guess this would be the tree of knowledge, right? Because, you have your roots here, it sprouts and it blossoms and it gives you fruit, that juicy fruit stuff, that knowledge, that wisdom. Yeah. If we look here, we have this judgment of the heart, but it's more of a material heart. But then we also have the feather over here. So when you're seeing the scales being weighed out, you can see that they have a certain weight to them. So I just wanted to show you guys that real quick. So also let's talk about some stuff, like some things about, okay, people were saying things about Nephilim, right? Because they're all scared of the Nephilim or whatever, and aliens and all that stuff and demons. And it's like, okay, stop. Because those are men of renown. So men of renown are people from the past, like our ancestors. So like great kings, great warriors, great chieftains. They would be called demigods, right? Because they did so much for people. They would be like what we have now, celebrities. They do so much for people. But imagine that in the past. And they would just do a lot, and then their family lineage would be carrying on that title. So they'll be like, yeah, that one king, his family, for generations, they have been taking care of us, right? Because they have all this power, they do all these wars, they die for us, and sometimes we can be part of that. So that's just something you should know, because a lot of people are like, the Nephilim. Like, no, just stop with the Nephilim stuff. Like, it's not real. It's only created so that way you guys can get lost in it all. But it's not these, fallen angels. Like, yes, they are in a sense, because, you could say, our family were sacred, right? So they had so many different kings and so many great warriors, and then they would have their clans, and then those clans would, do really good, and it's not necessarily saying fallen, they came down and then they ruined their lives. No, they came down to grow the earth, right? To make it better, to till it, to, nurture it, to fertilize it, I guess, And, even if it's through war and things like that, and to a normal human, that's scary, right? Because you're like, well, if somebody was strong enough to come down from heaven and destroy us, that's scary. But it's just saying, God created these people and this is what happened. So don't think that there's some Nephilim. Well, you know what, you could actually think that, because I would be considered Nephilim, because I'm 97% Neanderthal. So that means I'm more ancient than a lot of than the 3% out there. There's not a lot of I'm so high up there when it comes to ancient blood. My family carried on from the beginning until now, and they didn't mess up. And that means they would have had to have a son each time. And that's why when I take DNA tests, I am related to an Irish king, and it shows up, and it shows up really strong. And it doesn't break out. It doesn't break off or go into different nationalities, because it was such a pure bloodline throughout the ages. So that means my families were considered, I guess you could say, almost nomadic, but they would build kingdoms, establishments, and keep traveling the earth to keep so I technically own all the land, so that's why they're called Irish aristocrats, because they own all the land. And so they would make a lot of legends all these Irish people, they're bad because and then they go after them, and then the Jewish people are bad, and then they go after them. But all the ones now are not the same as the ones before. So my family was original, and then whatever's comes after that is not, they're beneath us. So that means they should be serving us, my family, but they don't. So that means that there's a a problem in the algorithm, right? So that means that there's somebody doing something wrong. So like, let's say you're in a house and you're taking care of the house, and you have a lot of workers, and then all of a sudden the workers kick you out of your own house. You don't get paid, nobody acknowledges you. How did that happen? Like, you need to find out like who turned against me, who doesn't know that I'm their boss, right? So it's kind of like that. Let's see. Also, in the Three Magical Books of Solomon, at the end there's the Testament of Solomon, and the Testament of Solomon is how God created the earth. So when people are saying like he had 700 wives, that's the 7 churches, right? So you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So Saturn, the sun, Jupiter, Venus, Mercury, the sun, Mars, and the moon, and Saturn. That's 7 planets, right? That's the 7 churches. So that's the world. That's the whole world right there. And there's not an outer space, it's an inner space. And sure, there might be like demonic creatures or aliens or angelic beings or like there could be mutations like that, but if they were alive and they existed, they would be out here looking all crazy. But they don't look all crazy, they look like me, and I guess I do look a little crazy, but I guess that's because I'm better than you, right? So yeah, that's just a little bit of info. So don't expect like, oh my god, this giant alien's gonna come down from heaven and control us all. Like, well, I guess it's true then, because I am a giant alien, right? So, dang, that's pretty cool actually, right? But I think what they're thinking is a little bit different. It's like they expect something from like a sci-fi movie, and I guess in a way it's true and in a way it's not, right? Because they're expecting like some kind of something that's not me, right? Something that's the opposite of me, like something that's, I don't know. But it's kind of interesting, but it's like, you know what? Believe what you want to believe, think what you want to think, but at the end of the day, like, if you're gonna put all that energy into something, just put it into me, right? So you'll be like, well, what are the Nephilim? Then you look at me and you'll be like, well, that's a Neanderthal, right? So that's an ancient being that came through all the way from the beginning of time when God created the earth, right? So let me drink my coffee real quick because it's really good. So let me see. Yeah, there's a part in the book where it says that some of the spirits create a pillar from the Red Sea, like this column of air or wind, and that's what the sun is rotating on. And then it says that there's this stone that it holds up the temple, and that's the moon, right? So it's like, they're like, well, if that ever falls, it's the end of the world. And that's what people always say, you know, if the moon ever falls, it's the end of the world. So those are cool, interesting things. And they mention like, well, Eros is Cupid, right? So it's like a wind spirit, a Venusian wind spirit. And it came to Solomon, was like, well, if you crush these 5 locusts, these grasshoppers, I'll let you have this woman for your wife, and you can like occupy the earth, or, you know, give offspring to it. And that's just God's way. That's kind of like the Genesis book, right? Where it's like God's creating the heaven and the earth. So that's King Solomon right there. Solomon means sun and moon. So that's why people are like, it's important to know that David and King Solomon are the same thing, because David is day, like daytime, and vid is like video, right? So reflection or image or copy almost, and that would be the moon. And then you have Solomon, which means sun and moon, so you have day and night, right? So there's this combination of energies. And then you have everybody saying, well, when King David comes back, he's the Messiah. Well, that's me, I'm King David. What's up? All right, so that maybe that can help you understand things a little bit better. I know it helps me, because I'm like, I know the truth, but like I have to find ways to explain it too, because it's kind of like when your ancestors speak to you and they're like, well, this is the truth, and we're gonna reveal it to you little by little, because that's just how things work. Yeah, so I'm just giving you guys the heads up so you guys know, because why not, right? Like, the more info I throw out there, the more you have to grab. Whether or not you listen, it doesn't matter. All that matters is that it's out there, right? You know, like if you built like a farm or a tree, or you planted a tree, it's gonna grow. So no matter what, like if a person across the universe doesn't believe it, like there's no tree being planted right now, and then like couple years past that tree's still growing, like it's gonna happen, and it's gonna affect the universe in the long run. Let's see. Yeah, I always hear there's like levels of religion, right? So when I go to AA, they talk about, one member talks about levels of religion, like, you know, Christianity's like your entry point, right? And I think an important thing to know is like atheists. They're always saying like, I don't believe in God, because they don't want to admit that God is real, because they know they're going to be punished for something. So it's like saying like, oh, I didn't do that, mom, like I didn't do those bad things, it's not true, I didn't do that, and you did. So it's like you just don't want to get punished, so you're just saying like God is not real, because if God was real, he's gonna punish me. And it's true, God is gonna punish you. That's who I am, right? So I will punish you with my magic. Magic, magic, what does this stands for? Make all good in Christ, or make all God in Christ, make all good in Christ. I don't know, something like that. Like magic is real, magic is God. Like people want to demonize it too, so it's okay to demonize things, because it lets you know that it's scary, it's powerful, it's strong, it has power over you. So yeah, that's an important thing to know. Yeah, I live on Skid Row. It's annoying as hell. All right. Let's see. I saw something about some seals that I kind of wanted to go over real quick. So like, let's say you're building your own Elon or your own ephod, your little tablet, just to get like a better idea of things. Like if you look at this one's Saturn. Today's Saturday, and I think today's the 6th, right? So this is east, this is west, this is south, and this is north. Yeah, so then if you look at this, you'll see the same thing. You have, this is east, south, north, west, right? So east is seen as this entrance, and I guess that's why the pyramid's right there. And then west has this like Neptunian energy, right? And then the south has it had those lines. It was very interesting that it had those lines, and it kind of connected here, but it kind of makes sense because these are both like Scorpio and Mars both have those arrows, and so does Sagittarius. And then down here you have this wave, but that's the horns, the bull horns from Baal or whatever. Yeah, so when you think, okay, God is not Baal, Baal is God, it's the same thing. So maybe a long time ago when they had that war, when they were like, my God's more real than yours, my God's more real, whichever God sends down fire from heaven is the better one. And it's more saying like, okay, we both believe in the same God, but God believes in me more than you, so he's gonna bring fire down, turn on my altar, and burn you guys. And that's exactly what happened. But then as time passed, they were like, well, maybe there were separate gods, different. No, they were the same God. It was always going to be the same God. It's impossible for there to be a separate God than God. Like, do you think God would allow that? Like, think about it. Do you think I would make two messiahs? Like, do you think God would make two messiahs? Like, that doesn't make sense. Like, oh yeah, the battle of the messiahs. No, none of that makes sense. And I feel like people, they want to like believe in a lie, because if they believe in a lie, they have this hope that that it will come true, because people are always like, yeah, we told you aliens are real, and it's just like, no, they're not real. You guys are just making excuses. And it's okay, you know, to have your interests and, you know, be a little delusional in fantasy. I love fantasy as well, but you have to bring it to reality. And that's what they're doing. They're bringing it to reality, and they're saying like, hey, aliens are real. And it's like, no, you don't want to admit that you're gonna lose. People always say like, oh, the demons made me do it, or something bad, or the devil made me do it. No, they did not make you do it. You did it. You opened those doors. You made that happen. You defied God. You're the one challenging him. You're like, no, God, that can't happen. That's not gonna happen. This is how it's gonna go. No, I'm gonna turn the tables on your ass, for real. So let's make one thing clear. I am God. So like I don't even need to go to Jerusalem and be like, I'm God, boom, I'm the Antichrist, what's up, I'm your Messiah. I don't have to do any of that. But it's like you have to, in a sense, because it's like people, they need that prophecy to be fulfilled. If it's not fulfilled, then they'll always have these doubts and questions, and they'll always try to prove you wrong. So it's kind of like a race, like an Olympic race. And it's just unfortunate because it's like this huge contradiction, because I like to live a life where I'm like, all right, let's keep going, let's keep going, let's keep going. But then when you're the Messiah, it's like, okay, let's keep going, let's keep going, let's keep going. But everybody's trying to stop it from going. They're literally trying to stop it. They'll be like, that ain't true, this ain't true, like, prove it, bust a miracle, do this, do that. And it's like, okay. And it's just annoying because it's like, imagine if you were with God and you're walking with him and you're just like, yeah, God, if you're real, do this for me. If you're real, do that for me. If you're real, do this for me. And it's like, no, just be like, hey, God, I need this, I need that. Like, let's go, let's make it happen. But it comes to a point, you know, where it's just like, how long can I keep doing that? How long can I live like that, knowing that the humans are like, what's the word? Always asking for something and never giving anything back in return. Like, there's a price you have to pay for this, right? Like, it's that Pied Piper scenario. It's just interesting stuff to think about, right? So it's like, okay, the world's ending, we're having Armageddon, Iran is being destroyed, Iran is fighting back, and it's good because we want more destruction and chaos, and the more destruction and chaos we have, the faster we can escalate everything and get it over with. Because it's like, hurry up, let's move on. I want to have an adventure. I want to have my own house. I want to have my own mansion, my own castle. I want to destroy Europe. Like, let's go. Come on, like, let's go. I want to destroy America. I want to destroy all the nations. I want to have my own kingdom. I'll destroy Israel as well and Jerusalem. Like, I'm going to make it all my own. Like, I'm just going to erase everything and start over new and do my own thing. Like, I don't want no old temples, or I don't want to visit no old places. Like, I don't care. Like, who cares? I'll just make a new world and just enjoy that. And, you know, there's people that really, they're stuck. And that's why I make these videos, so I can put it out into the world. So that way, their stuckness won't keep me stuck. Because if they're stuck and I'm stuck, then we're all stuck. And I'm not part of that. Like, I'm not part of you guys. Like, you guys are inferior to me, right? So it's like, how do I move past you humans? Well, I guess I have to do it this way. This is the only way. Like, I can't go out there and preach and be like, hey, I'm your king, I'm your Messiah. Like, that's never gonna work. I can't go and make a cult. That's not gonna work. I have to do it this way. Like, make these little vlogs, these little journals, just to put out info and let that energy fly through the airwaves and manipulate your little brain cells. Kind of like a Nen ability from Hunter x Hunter. You know, you could imagine as like Shalnar kind of does something like that. He injects people with the needles, and so does Illumi, but they'll put like thoughts in your head or like control you. And that's when people are like, well, demons can control you. Well, yeah, they can. They really can. But at the end of the day, it's your fault, because you're the one that's like, I don't want to listen to God. I don't want to do what he wants. I don't want to do what King David wants. And then it's like, well, what am I going to do? I have to force you to do it, right? Have you ever seen like Power Rangers and the Rita Repulsa comes down and she's like, dang, like I have all these monsters, but none of them know how to do the job, so I have to do it myself. And she goes into battle and she up the Power Rangers, like every single time. Like, she's like, come on, like I'm your boss. Like, you don't get no power from anywhere but from me. Like, the grid exists because of me. Like, Zordon doesn't exist, I exist, you know? And that's the truth, you know, like, I'm the Messiah. Like, your imaginary God doesn't exist, I do. Like, whatever you're getting from the Bible or your revelations, none of it's true, because it's not real. It's all in your head. This is real. My body's real. Like, what would you rather have, this real body or this imaginary God that doesn't exist that's in your Bible? Like, that God doesn't love you, because I don't love you. Why would we love you? Like, there's no point. You're like inferior humans. You don't do anything for the world. You're just scum. Yeah, so let's kind of like go into entertainment purposes only realm, and let's kind of go into this Castle Demon Lord, this game that I'm making, where I'm the Messiah and I have to conquer the earth and destroy the human race. So this is like a map of Los Angeles. We have LA down here. Well, actually, LA would be up here. Lancaster and Palmdale over here. Santa Clarita, Victorville, and San Bernardino. You have Ontario over here. Santa Fe Springs. And you have this like map, and you'll be able to play on the board game and move your character around and roll dice and see where you land and what you get and what demons you face. Yeah, it's just annoying, right? Because it's like people want all this proof. They're like, we want proof that there's aliens. How about you want proof that I exist? How about that? Like, why don't you just want one thing? You want all these facets, but you don't want the truth. It's like you want all these lies that are wrapped around it, right? But you don't want the main, like, the show. Like, it's like if you went to go watch Panic at the Disco, but you were only watching the other bands instead of that. Like, if you went to Warped Tour and you saw all these bands, but you didn't see, like, Bring Me the Horizon, like, I don't know. It's just like, come on, people. Like, get it together. You guys really suck. You guys really, really suck. Like, you guys are really slow mentally. No spiritual growth. Like, no spiritual truth. Like, boring. You don't know how to get yourselves together, get people together. You don't know how to do anything. Like, it's just unfortunate. It's like, come on now. Like, it's just boring. You guys are boring. Humans are boring. I hate that word because you guys love being boring. Humans love to be boring. They love this like idea that the world is like dead. The world isn't dead. The world is alive. It's beautiful. There's so much that we have yet to explore about this world, and we have to wait for you guys to catch up. Catch up. You know, like the mama tomato rolling backwards, rolling over the baby tomato and saying, catch up, right? Like, come on, like, that's what we have to do. We have to do dark magic on your dumbasses. Let's talk a little bit about Yu-Gi-Oh! Real quick. In the Yu-Gi-Oh! Like, lore, you'll see Yugi versus Seto. And in this description, it'd probably be like this. Yugi would be right here and Seto would be right here, and this is the night and this is the day. This is like 12 a.m. This is 12 p.m. right? So you have this dragon over here, and then you have the dark magician over here with Yugi, and it's kind of showing like this primordial man and then this primordial beast at war with each other, right? But if you look at it too, in a sense, like Yugi is a beast. He has those horns. He has the crown. He's like very beastly creature. And then Seto Kaiba is more like manly with the scepter and the rod, but he's ruling over this beast. And then this beast is ruling over the man. So there's like a lot of lore that you can kind of dig into. But you can see the blue eyes right here, obviously. And you can see the dark magician over here because the blue eyes is seen as this creature of light, and this is the daytime, right? And then this is the morning and then the night. And dark magician is over here in the darker realms, right? Even though this is still like the morning, it's still dark. And then you have the light over here, even if it's day and evening, right? Yeah, I just want to say like men and women are equal, just to let you guys know, and it's okay to be transgender. Just don't waste my money. All right, so let's see. There's these rules. I think it's called the Talmud, and there's 10 rules in there, and these are those 10 rules. So like 5 on here and 5 on here. And number 6 is usually seen as Cancer, and that's like laws, like for thievery or stealing. So even in the Talmud, it'll say things like that. But in the Talmud, there's a lot of stories about the Jews saying that Jesus is not God, that he's like a false prophet, and that he was burned in excrement, and like they boiled him in excrement, and that his mother was like this really bad person, and that he was just this evil guy. And it's like, that's so cool, right? Because I love to be the villain. So like if my character's that villain, like kudos to me, right? It's just, that's the best trap, right? Because that's how you get to know who your enemy is. Because you put out that kind of like idea where people get to talk crap about you, you know, roast you, and then you look at them and you're like, you guys are the enemies because you delight in trying to make me suffer. But a real person, they would be like, no, I'm not gonna partake in that. I'm not gonna hate on King David. Like, he's precious. But if somebody does and they're like, yeah, let's make fun of him, then I'm like, yep, you're my enemy. And it's good to know, because people will lie. They'll lie like to your face forever and ever and ever. That's why they're going to go to hell, right? So it's better to live in the truth and not live in a lie. And I think that's why I'm so honest about what I do with myself, you know, like how I explain what I am, explain what I do, explain how the story works, explain how the game works. So you guys don't have any excuses, right? And the more I do that, the more the waves go out there and splash around on the internet, the more the world knows the truth, the less excuses you will have, and the faster we'll get through this. Because if I just, like, you know, study and do it my old way, like just doing magic here and there, sure, I might get 50% done. But if I do it this way, I get 75% done. And that's a lot more. That extra 25% makes a huge difference in the timeline. To get that 100%, it would be like to have people, followers, right? But I don't have any followers. Nobody believes that I'm the Messiah. So it's like 75% is good enough for now. I'll get to that 100% eventually. That's my goal. Get that 100% like engine rate, you know? Get everything moving faster. But let's just have fun. I'm trying to get some Cyber Angel Yu-Gi-Oh cards. I'm trying to buy some new Vans. And today I was learning about stock markets and day trading and the petrodollar cryptocurrency. So I guess American money is oil money, and that's for the whole world because everybody needs oil. That's why we're so precious. And then European money is gold money. But who needs gold? Like, gold is a luxury item, right? So it's like, yeah, it's just, sure, it has value, but at the same time, it's not the same. Like, petrol money is war money, and cryptocurrency is more of like a liability in a sense, because it's like saying, it's kind of like a debt money, right? If you think about it, because cryptocurrency would be like, each person has a set amount of money, and when people invest in you, that your amount raises, and then you're basically becoming a bank, I guess, when you're a cryptocurrency. So you're holding on to money for people, like a placeholder, which doesn't really make sense, but at the same time it does, but not really, because it's like, okay, you want to make money, but cryptocurrency is more about saving money, because you have to hold on to it, and if you spend it, it's going to go somewhere else, so you're going to lose money. So basically, it's better to make your own cryptocurrency and then have people invest in you. I don't know. It just doesn't make sense to me. I'll do more research on it. It just doesn't make sense. To me, I'm like, I just want to destroy the humans, if I'm going to be honest. But, yeah, I don't know. What's next? Let's see. I had 2 people that wanted me to sponsor them, but like they never want to do the step work. So I think I'm like, no, you guys aren't serious. But I kind of do this thing where I'm like, let's see how serious they are about their recovery, in a sense. Like, are they willing to like do the step work with me, or are they trying to get something else out of me? And usually they're trying to get something else out of me because they think I'm like cute or something. I don't know, or they think they could take advantage of my time, and I'm just like, my time is precious. I can't squander it on you guys. And that's what they want. And I'm like, no, like, when you're serious about being sober, like staying sober and becoming somebody and like really promoting yourself, like to become a better person, I'll know, because you're gonna want what I have, right? And that's kind of like you guys. Like, are you really followers or not? And probably not, because, I mean, let's face it, you guys are humans. Humans are just weak and pathetic. I can't wait till the robots destroy you all. All right, catch you later. Bye.